Hello everyone, I'm sure this wasn't the video you expected to see, whatever I title it, probably something like The Murder Drones Comic Situation and Why You're Wrong, or something like that, because it is so frustrating to see people misinterpret this, in my opinion. But today I just wanted to share with you guys what I think on people framing this as a kind of continuation of Murder Drones when it really isn't. Listen, I'm sure the entire fandom, or most of it, but personally, I made my peace thinking we weren't going to get a season 2. And it slowly died. Like, Murder Drones is gone. We need to accept that. And with this comic coming out, people are saying, like, the big MD tubers like Yag and Daya, no shade to them, but they're going like,
Hey guys, I'm Yagster. This is like a continuation of Murder Drones.
it isn't. It's a retelling of Season 1. And sure, Murder Drones is getting more content, but at the same time, I find it sad how you have to wait until there's a scrap of content that's relevant in order to make a video on it. You may think I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but I'm not talking about the comic itself. I'm talking about the people who made a video on the comic. And in my opinion, it's just depressing seeing how desperate Murder Drones fans are for content. That someone would have to make a video just to inform people about the comic itself, just so they can get views. And on top of that, call it a continuation. And just keep this in mind, I'm not just mad at them, I'm mad at IGN. Because if you look at the article, they call it Murder in Season 1. And I don't know about you, but if you remember the whole Season 2 bullshit, it didn't go so well. And don't get me wrong, I am really excited for the comic. I can't wait. But it's just the people making content surrounding it and how they're framing it is just wrong. It's not a continuation, and it's simply a retelling. It's not that hard to understand, and I'm sorry, I've never done anything like this. I try to be positive in most situations, but it just annoys me. There's a reason I'm not making Murder Drones videos anymore, and that's because the show's gone. Like, the show's over. And it's just depressing to think that people need a scrap of content just so they can make a video and amass the horde of Murder Drones fans once more. Because I'm sure we all had the point where, oh yeah, we're kind of gotten over it now. And that's why I started moving on. I wanted to move on. But then this happens, and I literally said this on Twitter. I said, they really still doing this will they won't they, was calling it Season 1, and we were all ready to accept that Season 2 wouldn't happen. And now this is gonna, like, come back up. Because the MD fandom is fucking rabid. Okay? Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And you know what? If they do make a Season 2, that's great. I'd be really happy for that. And I'm sure that would get everything started up again, but I don't see that happening. Realistically, I don't know why Glitch is even bothering to hold out hope for Murder Drones when they've clearly let it go in some capacity. Most capacities. So I don't know why they even bother. Like, it's just beating a dead horse. The show's gone, and now it's both Glitch and the MD fandom and the MD tubers that are milking this one drop of content and completely misconstruing information about it. It's just... I know some people have clarified that it isn't a continuation, which is good, but it's the way you kept framing it in the video, kept saying that, hyping it up to be this big revival, when all it is a neat little thing for the fans of the show. That's it. There's no need to blow it out of proportion and have the copium to say that Season 2 could exist. For the record, I'm not, like, upset at anyone in particular. I'm just worried about how this is gonna go. I'm really happy the fact that we're getting more content, but I want to be realistic about it and know that people are going to expect more after this, because they will never let up. And that's why I'm making this video. I'm not trying to be a contrarian, I'm not trying to have a negative viewpoint. It's just that Glitch continues to be ambiguous whether Murder Drones has ended or not. The line is extremely blurred, and it will not get better unless Glitch or Liam says otherwise. Season 2 will never happen. They're leaving this show in a perpetual state of Like, it's over, but we're going to continue to make stuff about it because why? Probably money. And Liam hasn't said anything about it either. And understandably, because I'm pretty sure the Murder fans threatened to beat him to death with hammers, which is kind of fucked for the creator of a show that you like. Just a general opinion, I don't think death threats are very cool, and especially for someone who poured a bunch of time into creating this show for people to enjoy. And maybe, if they weren't so busy giving him death threats, the fandom would realize that maybe that's why he isn't making any new content. This could just be a personal thing about how non-Murder content doesn't get many views for MDTubers, especially my recent attempts of uploading. They never perform as well as Murder content, which is upsetting for me as well, because I tried to make other types of content, right? But like the Gaslight District video, I was really happy with that one even coming out at all, and I thought that would do well because it was still relatively recent. But no, and I won't be making Murder videos because it feels disingenuous. It's a struggle for content creators as well, because you're watching them for the content, not for the creator. And I'm defying my own logic here by making a Murder video, kind of, but at the same time, if this video does well, it just proves my point. I don't really think I have anything more to rant about. This generally has just been on my mind for a while, and if you misconstrue this as me just trying to hate for the sake of hating, you clearly haven't listened to a word I said the whole time. Just to summarize what I'm trying to convey really quickly. One, we're beating a dead horse, well, the Murder YouTubers are, because it's just sad how desperate people are for content. Two, Glitch leaving the state of Murder is really ambiguous, and trying to build hype for a series that has already ended, instead of doing anything with their new IPs. 3, IGN calling it an adaptation of Season 1, and potentially firing up that whole, shit fight with Season 2 again, and causing the fandom to go even more feral. I'm sure this is going to be a great comic, but at the end of the day, it's just Murder Drones. And sure, it would be nice if they gave us, extra scenes, because the show definitely needed that, but it's just reusing the same show with a new coat of paint in a different format, and there's no need to overhype something that we've already seen before. I don't want to badmouth anyone, especially not Glitch, but in their case, they've made Murder Drones Schrodinger's web series. They can't decide whether to keep it in the ground and buried, or start up new stuff with it. And why are they doing it? Probably money, because that's kind of how corporations work. And I'm not saying that's inherently a bad thing, but they're still releasing MD merch long after the show's gone, and that was originally meant to fund Murder Drones. And I know it's going towards their other shows now, but they're partnered with Amazon now, so I don't know why they'd need the funding from the fans as well. It just sounds greedy when you put it like that. And I'd hate to think that. I really don't like thinking that, but the way I see it, that just makes sense. And if I'm wrong about any of this, correct me, please. I'd love to be wrong, because I really hate being so negative. But yeah, I guess that's it for the video. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on the comics and whatnot. I will be uploading something a bit more proper than this eventually, and yeah, try not to flame me too hard, because I have a feeling having this opinion will not result in very good things for me. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. I don't know. Bye.